Oceans, the last wild, untamed place on Earth. With water covering 70% of our planet, and yet only 5% explored, the seas are modern adventurers' last playground.
Being on the boat, there's only one thing better than that, it's being with your family.
Alicante, Spain sees the start of the Volvo Ocean Race around the globe, nearly 500 years after Ferdinand Magellan's fateful first attempt. 7 international teams are racing over 70,000 kilometers in some of the world's most hostile and remote environments.
The furthest from land you can possibly get on the planet.
They're sailing 24/7.
It's undescribable. It's just relentless.
Fighting storm, cold, exhaustion.
I can't hear this air anymore because it's been hit by so much water.
Each other.
Can you have an excellent sailor but still be a pain in the ass?
The correct answer is yes. I've sailed with a few.
And risking their lives.
Don't leave without me.
Giving everything to win one of the toughest races on the planet.
It's pretty rough.
This is their story.
The ocean is, you definitely have to keep in your mind that it's more powerful than you and it's stronger and it's totally out of your control, and yeah, the more you know about it, the less dangerous it is, and it's all about, I guess, respecting and knowing when you can use it and when you can't. My job at the moment is sailing, but when I've had enough training for the day and I finish it, the first thing I want to do is get in the car and drive over to the surf and just, let my mind set free of what I've been doing all day and relax and have a surf. My whole life I grew up on a boat with my family, and I've always been on the ocean. I've been on it or in it since I was born. So I started surfing with my dad and my brother when I was about 7. I think with surfing you really get addicted to catching waves and that feeling of when you're on a wave, you're dancing on water kind of thing. I don't know, it's a sense of adrenaline, but it's also really fun, and yeah, you just live for catching the waves. Being a professional athlete and sailor is definitely a huge commitment in my life, and my challenge now is going to be the Volvo Ocean Race, and it's something that I've always wanted to do, and yeah, the opportunity is now here, and it's going to be the coolest thing I think I've ever done.
The Volvo Ocean Race is the ultimate Grand Prix lap of the planet. Starting from Alicante, Spain every 3 years, it's the global contest that professional sailors aspire to complete. But the Volvo Ocean Race is extreme, and it creates a real sense of camaraderie between all of the sailors. It's all hands on deck to help with last-minute preparations. In the Alicante race village, the 7 international teams are getting crews and boats ready under the gaze of the public coming from all around the world to witness the send-off.
The atmosphere here is pretty amazing now. There's a huge amount of people down here, and but we've had this sort of massive job list that slowly, I don't know, it might be down to 20 things now, I don't know, but the board at one stage was sort of, the job list was going out, not down.
Get that in here, mate, that's your line.
Hopefully we've ticked all the boxes, and we can actually sort of get to the start and kind of relax a little bit, and then actually start thinking about the race.
Lack of time is a problem that several teams face, including the Spanish.
We are late, it's true. We're feeling late. I really would like to have more time, no? But what are we doing? We are just preparing our boat. Everyone is working hard here. And I think the spirit of the team is that we have a chance. If you stay at home, you don't have a chance. If you are in the starting line, you have a chance.
Alicante to Cape Town is the first leg of the race. Leaving the Mediterranean Sea for the Atlantic Ocean and 6,500 miles of racing is a really exciting time, but also when the reality of the huge challenge hits home.
I think leg 1 is one of the best legs of the race. It's because it's got a bit of everything. We've got to get out the med that typically you'd say is going to be light and finny, but last time it blew 40 knots and our mast fell down, so you never really know what's going to happen.
But worrying about the unknown is not on the team's minds right now.
Happy birthday, dear.
Departure day is an emotional moment. Excitement, adrenaline, and anticipation, mixed with the sadness of leaving loved ones behind.
Certainly going to be harder leaving the ports. It was already tough when you go to sea, and you're not going to see see your wife for 20, 25 days. Are you ready? Ooh.
I don't know whether I worry more with Gerald being at sea for Pearl's sake, because before I've never, ever worried.
Sailing in this race is a massive undertaking that none of the sailors underestimate.
The main problem on the Volvo Ocean Race is that you are very busy and you cannot spend a lot of time with your family. For me, this is the biggest problem, and I will not maybe make a lot of Volvo Ocean Race only for this reason.
An environment that's intense as this, sometimes it's really important to take a break and escape, and I think that the family actually forces me to do that, and that's healthy.
It's the first stage of a real discussion about jumping in that race or not, is with your wife or husband and your kids if they are grown up enough. Without their supports, I think most of us just would not do that race, and that's what also we must keep in mind. I mean, thanks to them to support us going at sea.
A lot of the guys have got their family and kids here, and that makes it really hard to say goodbye to them. I left mine at home just for that reason, so everyone's going to be sad, but everyone's going to be really excited, and it's always the first few hours that's hard, and then it's game on again.
3 kilos.
For the Alvi Medica team, just being on the start line is an achievement.
I don't come from a sailing background. My family doesn't have any sailing experience. I sort of stumbled into the sport and fell in love with it, but I like to joke they don't know the difference between the boom and the spinnaker pole, but they are extremely supportive and actually encouraged me.
But choosing a different path is not always the easy way.
I graduated from university at the end of 2011, right before the last race, and all my friends are went off and are working in finance or consulting, or they all sort of have real jobs, and I was leading a much different lifestyle. So in some ways that was, I don't know how to describe it, but you just sometimes feel like question if what you're doing is the right thing, because you're sort of the only one doing it. A lot of people told us we were crazy for thinking that we could put together our own team 3 years ago. And you can hear no hundreds of times, but all you need is one yes. Well, I feel like I've learned more in the last 9 months than I have in the rest of my life.
Having jumped through hoops just to be there, Mark's mind is set on the race ahead.
Whether you come first or last in this race, everybody feels a sense of accomplishment. I think for me as a sailor, that's something, sort of a milestone that I'd like to achieve. And getting to do that in a competitive racing context against really a lot of the best professional sailors out there in the world, that's just icing on the cake. And then to be able to do that with some really good friends, that just makes it all the better. So it's a really exciting opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to
it. Sailing the race with friends is great. Getting the girl you really want is even better.
I said to a friend of mine in the boat, like, oh, look at that girl, she's quite nice. And he's like, well, get a grip. She just finished the Volvo Ocean Race and you are in a rib, so what are the chances?
I think just through the sailing the world, the way it works, we just kept bumping into each other in various ports. And then we bumped into each other again in Coquelin in the south of France. And that was where we were both based for about 2 years. And the rest is history, as they say.
And as in most stories, the Ellas soon had a very small addition to their family. But with both being keen sailors, the Volvo Ocean Race was never very far from their minds.
I think we were at the time when she gave me the news, and she said, very diplomatic, there's the new Volvos going on the start. It's like, yes, I know. And there's an all-female team. I said, oh, is it? Really? She's like, yeah, I might have a chance to go for a trial. And myself being a sailor, and I always wanted to do the Volvo Ocean Race, it's like top priority on my bucket list. I was like, well, go for it.
So, with Abby off to sail the race, Tom has to deal with his own emotions.
It is really hard to see her off because I'm so jealous. I want to do the race myself, and she now gets the time to do it for the second time. So at least I'm involved on the short side, which is a big bonus for me and gives us time together at the stopovers.
Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to Alicante.
Daryl, Simon.
Nice to meet you.
Phil.
Hello everyone. I'm Mario.
Grand Prix sailing is relentless hard work, so it's important for the guys to relax and have some fun.
You're ready? We can start.
I'll get the big one. Adol's he's very quiet. He's like the quiet achiever. He's very unsuspecting. You don't know. You look at him and he's very quiet and he doesn't say anything. But then he gets on one of these Segway things and he's out of control. And we'll get him behind the wheel of a car and you don't want to sit in it. We're going to have to watch him on the 65.
Yeah, it's great to have fun with Segways and go around the town, and it's going to be a great day. It's my first time.
No, it's really good. It's nice to get away from work as well, which is a bonus. And considering most of us have been here sort of 3 times now and been here many times in other boats, and you never get a chance to look around, so it's good to get an afternoon off and spend a couple of hours looking around. 3, 2, 1, and rotate. We're like the Beatles.
With one difference, the Beatles didn't have to compete at everything they did.
More about adrenaline than anything else.
Racing to the start line is what every Volvo Ocean Race team is doing. But boatyard manager Nick Bice is running a different kind of race to make it back to Australia in time for the birth of his second child.
We're about 10 minutes away from seeing them now, so can't wait to be there and be part of the whole day.
Hey Rex. How are you?
Good. You haven't had a baby yet?
No, still there waiting for you to arrive.
Cool. We're here now, ready to roll. A few more hours and
Party starting here.
yeah, we'll get the party started.
Finally, after a few hours of labour, the miracle of life has happened once more for Nick and his family.
It's a boy. We're very happy. Come on in. The race is made up of boats and teams, but at the end of the day, it's made up of human beings. Here we are with just what really matters in life. Family.
And with the new family safe and sound, Nick can fly back to Alicante and his boatyard family. With the start of the race just days away, teams have to announce their Leg 1 crew lists. In Team Dongfeng, 2 sailors from the 6 Chinese squad members made the Leg 1 lineup. Emotional for those who made it onto the boat.
The Chinese journalist asked me about question about what's the meaning for you to do the Volvo Ocean Race. I told him for sure at the beginning, for sure it's a dream. Like I fight for 3 years. Finally, this is almost come true now. And at the same time, I represent from the big point. I'm represent China. From the small point, just from my friend. I'm also carries Leo dream. And at that time, I just cannot control my emotion. Just feel like a bit sorry for Leo, and yeah, and that's why I hug him, and both of us cried. I'm a human. I have like an emotion, so I don't really mind to show my emotion, but I cried in front of everybody.
Meanwhile, at the boatyard, work continues, and helping Daddy pack the boat is a pretty good way to start saying goodbye.
The kids are helping me to pack all the clothing for the Leg 1. So we did 6 years ago with Telefonica, so we are doing again this year. Yeah, nothing changed. Missing some school days, so it's even better.
But spending quality time with Dad before the ocean racing starts is priceless.
He travels a lot, and he's often away, so we know we're often alone at home.
Okay.
I can't, call him in the middle of the night. He's I don't know where, it's not so easy, but I see that he's so happy. So for me, that's the most important thing.
Unfortunately, not everyone has family around. 23-year-old Tom Johnson, the youngest sailor in the fleet, won't have family in town to say goodbye.
Mum and Dad are awesome. They're supportive and helpful as, but they're off having a good time and having fun. They were up in Borneo, so it's kind of hard to get in contact with them. So I think I sent them an email, and a week later or something they gave me a call, and they were stoked for me. They were so excited. We're a close family, but not have to be with each other close. So it's, everyone does their own thing and has fun.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, just take the shackle off.
As for Wolf, it has definitely been an emotional few days.
Welcome us.
And you said you like...
For me, this week is really tough week. It's a lot of things happen. I got the news from my parents. They cannot come here to cheer me at the start of the race. My mom told me she didn't got the visa, and actually she already knew it like 2 days ago, but she don't want to disturb me. I really want them to share, because I know Volvo Ocean Race for me is not easy, and I fight 3 years for it. I want them to share the happiness moment with me.
Wolf's mum managed to send him a message explaining the situation and wishing him well.
Cape Town, they told me it's even harder to get a visa to Cape Town than get a visa from Europe. But I would like them to come to Cape Town. When I arrive, I can see them. They are waiting for me. I'll be super happy if that situation happens. Yeah.
One crew member is surrounded by support. Antonio Neti Cuervas Mons has his own fan club.
Miguel, buenos días. ¿Qué tal? Bien, venimos a recoger las camisetas de los Neti fans. I think we have made almost 100 shirts, almost 5,000 stickers, so I think we are prepared for the war.
¡Qué sorpresa!
The fan club is a real family business and a well-organized operation.
All the people love Neti, so I think the family is the basic from this project.
We think that if we are with Neti, Neti will be stronger doing the Volvo Ocean Race and will be happier.
Como madre, me gustaría decirle no vayas. Por otro lado, quiero que sea feliz y que cumpla su sueño. Y cuando me entra mucho miedo, pues rezo. Le pido a Dios que lo cuide. No puedo hacer otra cosa.
¡Salud! ¡Viva Neti!
Florida oranges. Oh no, Spanish ones.
Dockside in Alicante, the boats are being loaded with food, spares, kit bags. And Team Alvimedica's rookie skipper is a little worried.
Looks like a lot of stuff to go on a boat. I'm starting to think maybe too much.
Meanwhile, at the train station, the red t-shirts have arrived in town.
And it's like being in love, you know, not with Antonio, I mean, but yes, with this team, with this spirit, with this ambience, with so fun, so it's wonderful.
Every time it's getting bigger and bigger, and I don't know if we have deserved it or not, but I'm very proud of all my friends that come here to visit me, and for sure it will happen in the future to more people.
For sailors and families, the final night before departure is all about family and friends, though the reality of the challenge ahead is very much on their minds.
Pretty exciting, really. Probably a little scared, just because I've never been in the ocean for that long, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's that different. Last night in a real bed, got a little bit of last minute packing to do. Get my bag ready. But as fun as it's been having you guys follow me around, I need to get some rest. So Mark Towell signing off, Team Alpha Medica, 2014-15 Volvo Ocean Race. Good night.
Good morning.
Hello. Final packing hours. Come on in. You can't control anything in sailing, so having the certain type of kit is the only part that you can actually control, like what you bring on board.
On board the boat, discipline and organisation is key. But for some, boys will always be boys.
Good morning, Nikolai. How are you? Morning! Mom's here and all, huh? Oh, Nikolai, you're only packing now. You know we leave in an hour for, this little trip to Cape Town?
Yeah, it's just a normal trip to Cape Town, isn't it?
As the sailors and their families make their way to the dock for the final goodbye, the preparations are over. What lies ahead are 40,000 tough racing miles. The big day has finally arrived. After weeks and months of intensive training and preparation, the competition is on non-stop from this moment forward. For the sailors and their families, it's the last time they walk through the race village to their team's bases. The pressure is suddenly very public.
I think the best summary of the whole thing is good seamanship, and we'll be fine.
It's going to be a long trip. I don't think we're going to find out too much in the first 24 hours, or maybe in the first week, or maybe even not by the time we get to Cape Town. But I think if all of us stay strong, we stick together, and then I think certainly by the end of the race, the best team's going to come out on top, and hopefully that will be us.
Seeing your hair right now,
how unprepared but totally ready I am to go.
Sit, jog, out of there, gone, Cape Town.
Everyone's been waiting for this day for so long, so it's finally, especially with Vita.
With a few minutes to spare before dockout, sailors and loved ones share one last moment, as privately as possible, in front of 50,000 people. Thousands of well-wishers are waiting by the dock. One by one, the teams are making their way to boats that will become their homes for the next 3 weeks. It's finally time for both the rookies and the veterans to say their goodbyes.
Thank you! Thank you!
Tears and laughter fill the air, while husbands, wives and children wave farewells they have planned for weeks, months and years.
Emotions together, like we're feeling a bit sad. The boys they know their fight's going to be away. I mean, you feel, a bit sad, but it's easier when you've done it more than once. Bye bye, dile adiós a papi. Bye.
The fleet is on its way. But for the families left behind, this is just the start of a nail-biting wait that will last more than 3 weeks. Next week, The Volvo Ocean Race battle begins. Things are starting to break on the Dutch boat. And Team SCA meets some friends.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's like a baby one.